Right, so new Disney Speedstorm content roadmap. I thought this game was gonna die with the Big Hero 6 season scale back of the amount of characters that were going to be added. The game has been getting a lot of negative press recently. I've been disheartened with how the game has been rolling out new characters, how it's been monetizing itself, and it looks like it's only getting worse on that front. However, what I'm going to be talking about today is the new roadmap. We've got confirmation on what the next 3, maybe confirmation of what the next 4 updates, expansions, character drops are going to be, what the next seasons are going to be, what the next 3, maybe 4 seasons are going to be. This one doesn't fall into the same trap of the others as showing what the current season is, as well as 2 more. This is just 3 new seasons, starting with what the next season is going to be. I don't remember what season we're on. I think it's 13. I think we're on season 13. But I honestly, we've had so many of these that we're coming up to 100 characters in the game at the moment. I think we're going to be at 100 before the end of the year, if we aren't there already. But yeah, we've got Toy Story Part 2. We have Alice in Wonderland and Winnie the Pooh, each with 3 characters respective to the IP that the season is based on, and 2 mystery characters, although not a mystery for the Toy Story season or for the next season, because that's going to be Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale, the first characters to exist as crew members and now be characters in their own right. But this, obviously, the Chip and Dale that are crew members are the ones that appear in the animated shorts that Mickey, Donald, and Goofy are in, the ones that are to do with that. Chip and Dale that are going to be racers are going to be based on the Rescue Rangers cartoon and or that movie that came out a couple years ago. I like that idea. I like that choice. Do I like the idea of having a Part 2 Toy Story season? I prefer it to having... I think we're at a point now where we can afford to do Part 2 seasons. If this will work the same way as the Pirates of the Caribbean season, where we're going to get an expansion on the track, the Toy Story track, I'm all for it. I've been saying I wanted track expansions for pretty much all of the early tracks, like the launch game tracks and some of the early tracks as well. I would like them to start doing those so that they don't have to be attached to a season as well. I would prefer brand new tracks with seasons. And the big question mark with this is on the roadmap image, it only shows that there's going to be a new race environment, meaning new track, with the Alice in Wonderland season. Am I to believe, if it said no track with the Toy Story season, that would be fine, there's already a Toy Story track in there, but should I be led to believe that there is not going to be a track for the Winnie the Pooh season? There's going to be no 100 Acre Wood track. Is that what I should interpret from this? I hope that's not the case. And, I really want new seasons to have new tracks in them as well. And it does look a lot like the image that they're using for the Winnie the Pooh season, which is the furthest away. So it could be that the track isn't done yet. but it looks like the image that they're using is of just a tree that's in Arby's Arena. If that is the case, that's massively disappointing. I think because we're getting so little stuff for free, just at a base with the new seasons coming out, because essentially you're not going to be able to, if you are a free-to-play player, the 3 characters that are coming with each season now are going to be locked to you until the 4th or 5th week of that season. I don't like that at all. What I would like even more is for new tracks to be taken away, because I still don't think, although we are coming to a point where there are quite a considerable amount of tracks in the game, we're coming to a point where the game can slow down with the characters that are in it. I don't want it to slow down with the amount of tracks that are being added, because new seasons need something new for every player. And at this point, the tracks are the only things, they're the things that have the most love, care, and attention to detail in them. I don't want that to be sacrificed, and for there to be less characters, and for the characters that are being put in, for all of them to have a caveat or have a paywall attached. Because we've got paywalls on 2 of 3 new characters. The 3rd character has to be unlocked through the bonus chapter, and they're unlocked through a means that is easy to get to through that chapter, but you have to wait a few weeks before you're able to unlock the free character of the season. Taking away the new tracks, it's bad. That's a bad look on this game. If the monetization of the Golden Pass or the Season Pass was the first rock of the avalanche, this is probably, if they don't add new tracks per season, or they don't at least massively overhaul a pre-existing track, because they're not even saying that they will overhaul the Toy Story track. It's just something that we can imply from what they've done before. I don't want to believe that there's not going to be a new track dedicated towards the Winnie the Pooh season. I don't want to believe that, but I wouldn't put it past Gameloft at this point. And I can see them using the argument of there's 20 tracks in the game. We can only make so many. And it's that's the only thing you're making now. You cut down on the amount of characters that you're putting in. The tracks, you were able to do 5 characters and a track per season in the early days. If you can't get a track done for a season, I would rather wait 3 weeks, get a track, get every character voiced. I don't care about unlocking every single character now. I have detailed my way of doing my way of playing this game, building high instead of wide. I think that's the smartest thing to do, especially as a free-to-play player. Even as a pay-to-play player, I would say do that because of how expensive resource-wise, not actual money, not real-life money-wise, but how expensive resource-wise just building up one character is in this game. I personally, I don't think I will continue with this game if they're not adding tracks with every season. Again, something like the Pirates of the Caribbean season, something like if the Toy Story season comes out and they've overhauled or they've expanded on the track on the Toy Story track, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's the precedent at the moment. If there is a season based on a collection that already exists, that has a track that already exists, that existing track gets overhauled, gets worked on, gets added stuff to it, and becomes more exciting. That track will look and be more akin to what we expect from tracks being put into the game at the moment. I would love for this to be a game that lives forever, that gets to the point where there is 100 tracks in the game. I would love for this to even get to 50. But that is my biggest worry. It's not the monetization of characters. That's been a long time problem. It's not how can they worsen the Golden Pass. That is a big problem. I hope and I pray that there is more clarity on this. And that is the big problem with the way that these roadmaps have been put out, is that there is very little detail in what is actually going to be coming. We only know, we don't know which characters are coming into the game with each like roadmap, with each season. We can only, guess and extrapolate from what IP is going to be, what IP the season's going to be based off of. That's fine. It creates conversation in like the Discord and in communities and stuff. That's fine. That's okay. And for a lot of them, it is obvious. And mystery characters, that's fine to speculate on who it could be as well. That's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun in the community. Not knowing whether or not there's going to be a track with this season is a big problem. And having people even for a second worry that there might not be a track with the new season is a worry, because that is the only new content that every player will be able to experience. Don't give me any of this bullshit about events. Don't give me any of this, BS about, there'll be a new season tour. The new season tour will have old stuff in it. It will all be old stuff. There hasn't been a new game mode, really, since Season 2. There hasn't been a new game mode since Season 2. And since then, Game Loft have been stripping back on new content. Team mode in multiplayer is technically it's game mode, but it's not in the same way as there hasn't been like new caveats to the season tour or a big expansion to season tour nodes since Season 2. The big like things that have happened to Season Tour have just been to make them more cumbersome. There hasn't been like any like new gameplay stuff for the Season Tour since Season 2. I think that's why we're seeing players go away. I think that's why we're seeing like the monetization problems. The monetization problem only stays a problem as long as the game's not fun. And yeah, I don't know. The monetization problem becomes a bigger problem the more problems surround it, and the more problems that you add. A lack of clear communication that these roadmaps should be for. I hope that there's a blog post. I hope that there's something later on today that clarifies all of this for the peace of mind of every player. Because this is worrying. In my opinion, it's massively worrying. Not having a track with a new season. I think that. Sorry, that's my timer going off. I need to wrap this up. let me know in the comments below, A, if you're excited about the IPs that are getting seasons. Winnie the Pooh is something that I thought made sense from the beginning. And it's another character off of my 5 characters that need to be in Disney Speedstorm list. This is another character ticked off. So, you know, I'm a happy boy in that regard. However, I don't like that it's not clear that there's even going to be a new track with every season going forward. And if that is the case, I'm worried. I'm worried, and I may end up quitting the game. And it may be what should be my most hyped season that is going to end up with me leaving. I know it's another negative Disney Speedstorm video from me, but, you know, that's, you know, if the game continues to make stupid decisions, if Gameloft decides to not be smart about the way that they're promoting their game and the way that they're communicating with the player base, then, you know, what am I really to do? This is the only thing that I can do, is just be like, Gameloft, be better, be more clear with stuff. There may already be a blog post while I'm recording this, I don't know. But anyway, let me know in the comments below if you're excited about the new characters, if you're excited about the new seasons. Also, let me know if you're as confused as I am, or whether there's going to be a new track in every season going forward or not. Because that is my biggest question mark with this, my biggest worry with this. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Peace.